In It Together is brought to you by the Ministry of Education and UNICEF. Good morning. Today is the umpteenth day since our classrooms have been closed. That means we haven't been able to share snacks at school. We haven't been able to play sports, and really, the hardest part has probably been being apart from each other.
Yeah, doing my work from home is not really tough. Listening to radio programs and keeping up with teachers through WhatsApp is alright, but I also miss my friends.
Well, we have great news to announce. With this special TV program dedicated to us kids, we can be in it together. Our friends can all tune in at the same time, learn about the zoo, drawing, and other cool things, and we can share our progress with each other.
Social distancing may have us apart, but virtual learning is bringing us together. Let's jump on into what is ahead for us today.
In it together.
Good morning, students. I am Miss Abigail, and I am your sign language instructor. Indeed, those who are unable to hear or speak like us should not be left out of our group work, schoolwork, or even our fun. My job for today is to teach you a few signs that will allow you to communicate well with those who are deaf or hard of hearing. Let us start with some of the basics. When signing, the inside of your palm should face the deaf person so they can see clearly what it is that you are signing. Remember, if you are right-handed, sign with your right hand. And if you are left-handed, use your left hand to sign. Last episode, we learned the alphabet. I showed you the first 6 letters, and I hope that you were able to find and practice a couple more. We learned what is finger spelling and learned how to say my name is. I'm sure you learned to finger spell your name, which is really a lot of fun. Today, we will learn some greetings. These are short, basic words or phrases that are key when having a conversation with a deaf person. Today, we will learn 10 common greetings, such as good morning, good afternoon, good night, hi, how are you, good, fine, thank you, you're welcome, and what's up. It is important to remember that you must always portray your emotions on your face when signing. For example, when you sign that you are happy, your face must reflect happiness. We will start with good morning. You place one hand in front of your stomach while the other hand at your chin. Good. Then for the word morning, it's that when the sun is rising and you raise your hand up, morning. So for the phrase, good morning. Again, good, and the sun is rising, morning. Then for the phrase, good afternoon, the same good, but this time afternoon would be signed with your hand placed upward as the sun will be straight up. So good afternoon. Good afternoon. For the phrase good night, you sign the word good, but night will be signed with your hand going under because it's night as the sun is setting. For the word hi, you have the H at your forehead and move it forward with an I. Hi. For the phrase how are you, you will sign the word how, as in you put like you're holding a ball in your hand and you place them together and you move it forward. How. For the word are, you move your hand with the R shape, the R, from your chin forward, R, and you point to the person you. So for the phrase, how are you? For the word good, you have your one hand from your chin and move it forward, good. For the word fine, you have your palm and you press it inwards, fine. For the phrase, thank you, you have both palms from your chin, move forward, thank you. For the words, you're welcome, you have your hand from your forehead, bring it forward to your stomach. Welcome. For the word what's up, you use both hands with your middle finger in and you flick it up. What's up? Again, your middle finger in, what's up? Guys, today was fun. We've learned some of the basics, and we will learn even more when I return again. Remember, we should not exclude anyone who is different from us. Instead, with a little effort, we can all remain in it together. Thanks for watching Sign Time. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, guess what? Let's play a quick fun game before we get back to our regular show. Let's play a game of Do You Know? We will challenge each other to find out who knows the most cool things about Belize. And you can play too. Just get something to write on, something to write with, and jot down your answers as we go along. Ready? Let's go.
Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Do You Know? Today I have the contestants Mia, Tristan, Georgiana, and Joshua. Today we're going to be asking questions about Belize, so let's get right to it. First question is for Tristan. What is the name of the first Catholic cathedral in Belize?
The first cathedral in Belize is Holy Redeemer Cathedral.
That is correct. This church was built in 1852, the mother church to Roman Catholic. The second question is for Joshua. Which educational institution did the Jesuits establish in 1887?
St. John Birchman's College.
That is correct. This is located on Princess Margaret Drive today and houses to all boys high school and sixth form. Next question is for Mia. Who is the country's Minister of Education?
Honorable Patrick Farber.
That is correct. He has been the minister since 2012. The next question is also again for Mia. What is the name of Belize's highest court?
CCJ.
That is also correct. It is located in the port of Spain, Trinidad, and Tobago. The next question is for Georgiana. Which two imperialist nations contested the Battle of St. George's Key?
England and Spain.
That's correct. This was Spain's last attempt to invade Belize. Next question is also for Georgiana. What is the term used to describe the ill treatment or violence against people on the basis of race and complexion?
Racism.
Correct. Next question is for Tristan. Who wrote our country's national anthem?
His name is Samuel Haynes.
Correct. He was a soldier, an activist, and a poet. In 1963, he wrote the words to The Land of the Free, which was officially adopted as our national anthem in 1981. Next question. For Joshua, list 3 ethnic groups found in Belize.
Mestizo, Garifuna, and Creole.
That is correct. Belize is a melting pot of cultures. Next question is for Tristan. What is the name of the present leader of the opposition?
Honorable John Briceño.
Correct. He is the leader of the People's United Party. Last question is for Joshua. What is the name of the southern island that has been a focus of the Belize and Guatemalan dispute?
Sarsoon Island.
Correct. Most controversial are found in the Belize and Guatemala territorial dispute. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned some Belizean history. Join us again next time for more Do You Know? Bye! Hello, and thanks for staying tuned to In It Together. Once again, we are featuring a fun edition of Kids Ask the Experts. This is where we have the opportunity to ask experts questions that us children actually want answers for. Today's expert is Rowan Garel, a young Belizean who has not allowed his visual impairment to hold him back. Good afternoon, Rowan. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Good afternoon.
Do you mind introducing yourself for our listeners?
Sure. So my name is Rowan Garel, and I'm 22 years old, and I have been blind all of my life.
Well, my friends and I have some questions ready for you. Can we begin?
Sure.
Good. Let's start off with Mia.
Hi, I'm Mia. My first question is, how do you know what to wear?
So typically, blind people have a system of clothing. We have everything matched up into either sets, or we have all the dark clothing on one side, all the light clothing on another. But in my case in particular, that is done for me at the moment. So I just have everything folded together and I just pick it up and wear whatever it is.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joshua. My first question is, do you use a cane or a guide dog or both?
I use a cane. There are people who use guide dogs, or depending on the level of vision that they have, some people prefer to walk alone without any type of aid. But I am only able to use a cane because I feel like that way I'm able to have more freedom.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Leah. My question is, how much can you see?
I was able to see light at first. So basically just light and dark, nothing more, no colors, no shadows. But then I got a surgery to remove my left eye when I was in standard 6, and after that I lost my light perception. So currently I can see nothing at all.
Thanks for sharing.
Hi, I'm Tristan, and my first question is, how do you make any typical food?
That is actually a really good question. I don't know how to cook anything much at the moment, but I'm slowly learning how to do things like put chicken on the grill or vegetables, that type of thing. And what you would typically do is you'd learn to use a timer. So for example, I can tell my Amazon device to set a timer for 10 minutes or whatever it is, and then you hear the timer go off. There are also thermometers that you can use for meat, so you can tell that it's cooked all the way through by the temperature, and the thermometer would speak to you.
That's great. That's cool. Thank you.
Does this affect your education?
In some ways it can. Some professors are a bit intimidated by when they get a blind person, they can feel like they have no idea how to teach us, which is, I mean, it's only natural. But on a whole, there is always some type of adaptation or modification that can be made. But definitely it does affect my education because certain concepts take a little longer to explain or need to be taught in a different way.
Thank you.
My second question is, can you play any kind of sport?
There is a sport called goalball, specifically for blind people, where you basically have a basketball court and they have some ropes, and there's a ball with a bell on it that you can roll, and you try to get it past the other team. And there are also baseballs that have beepers in them, or they have footballs that you can use that have bells or something that rattles inside, and then you can just put something like a radio by the goal. So there are ways that blind people can play sports, yes.
Thank you, that was interesting.
My second question is, what advice can you give to a blind person's friend?
Well, the advice that I would give to a blind person's friend is not to treat us like we're blind, treat us like we're people. Because we aren't blind human beings. We are human beings who just so happen to be blind. So you can ask me about my experiences specifically, and another blind person will have a completely different story to tell than I would. So, we have our own interest. For example, I love Harry Potter, but other people have things that are completely different. So if we feel like you're not tiptoeing around us and treating us like people first, that will go a really long way.
Thank you.
Hi, my second question is, do you have good memory?
I think I have good selective memory. So if it's a series that I'm really interested in or a book or something of that sort, I will remember details about this thing that can be very specific. Or, for example, with animal sounds, I remember a lot of those. But with other things, I hear it 1 minute and it goes through the other ear. So it really depends on how interesting I find the subject.
Thank you.
For my second question, how did it feel climbing Victoria Peak?
It felt really amazing climbing Victoria Peak because my family grew up hiking and doing many things outdoors. We have always loved nature. And when you're at Victoria Peak, there's nature all around you. It's very remote, so it was a very unique experience.
Thank you.
Well, my question is it okay to call you blind or do you get offended?
It is definitely okay to call me blind. There are terms that people use like visually impaired, or there's also another term that I've heard differently abled. I would much rather be known as a person with a disability because that's just the fact of the matter. One of my senses don't work, therefore it's a disability. But I don't let that hold me back. I am at the end of the day just a normal person. And yes, I am blind, so that doesn't offend me at all.
How was your experience growing up as someone blind in, primary school and high school?
So the most important thing for anyone to have, but blind people as well, is family support. And my family has always ensured that I'm included in anything that they're doing. So if we went horseback riding or hiking, anything like that, I would always be a part of the activity. And that goes for school as well. So I have never been in a special school. I have always been with sighted individuals. So I had, I would say, a pretty normal primary school experience. I couldn't run around and play freeze tag or anything. I mean, I tried to, but it didn't work. But everyone was really inclusive. I hear some people in other places talk about being bullied for being blind, but I've only had that experience once in my life. And apart from that, the students have been really accepting.
Thank you for sharing.
My final question is, how do you read books?
There are several ways that we can read books. There is Braille, which is in basically touching a series of dots. And then there is audio, which is a recording of someone reading the book to you. I can use both, but I prefer to use audio. But it's always good to have Braille because if you move to somewhere like the US or even here in Belize, sometimes the signs are going to be in Braille, so it's very important for us to keep that skill.
Thank you.
So, my follow-up question is, do you get sad being blind?
No, I don't get sad being blind. Sometimes there are things I wonder about, maybe that a sighted person can do, like I wonder what it would be like to see for miles and miles ahead. But it's easier for me because I was born blind, so I've never known sight. I have no idea what it's like to see, so I can't miss it. But people who are blind later in life, maybe from an accident or some type of medical condition, many of them miss the ability to see because they know what it's like to be able to experience color and sight on a whole, and then it's taken away from them.
Thank you.
My last question is, how do you handle money?
There are several ways. When I was in the US, I would use a credit card to handle money so that I didn't have to deal with cash. But what I do here is that I fold my bills a certain way and then I just trust my mother or a friend or someone to tell me which bills they are. So I keep maybe the 50s straight out, and then I would fold the 20s in half and the 5 bills in thirds or something like that, and just keep them in specific parts of my wallet.
Wow, thank you.
Okay, my third question is, what is the hardest part of being blind?
So that isn't a question that I have an answer to because the experience of being blind is very different for each individual person. Some people are blind and they can see a certain amount. Some of us have no sight. Some of us have most of our sight, but can't see things far away. It really depends. I personally don't really make that comparison because I just do what I have to do and live that way. But I suppose that if I had to give an answer, it would be that for me, sometimes it takes a bit longer to do things than, say, a sighted person, especially if it's the first time that I'm doing it. For example, maybe if I'm trying to pour water into a mug or something like that I haven't done before, it would take me a bit longer because I have to be more careful, whereas a sighted person could just look at what they're doing and complete the same task in half the time. But that's just how life is.
Thank you, very interesting.
Okay, my final question is, perhaps how long would you say it'd take for you to get familiar with one area?
It really it depends on the size of the area and how much I have to move around it. If it's like a house or something, maybe about 2 or 3 days. If it's somewhere like a university campus, that takes much longer, weeks, months. But it really depends because there is something called O&M, which stands for Orientation and Mobility. And it's a type of training that blind people get so that we can learn where things are easier and make connections between places. So I still have a lot of work to do in that particular area.
Thank you, I appreciate you sharing.
Well, I guess that is it for our questions for today, Rowan. Thank you for joining us today.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being brave and sharing with us, because we know for some people it's a really sensitive topic to talk about, but we could tell that, you're really strong with everything that's happened to you.
Sure. The way I see it, a lot of the ignorance that we have in Belize is because people don't know and they're afraid. They're kind of tiptoeing around us because they don't want to offend. But seriously, if you ever meet a blind person somewhere and you end up talking to one of us, you can ask us anything. I've had someone ask me how I use the bathroom and I've answered them. So, we are people first, right? And if you're comfortable with us, we'll be comfortable with you. So that's the best thing that you can do.
It was our pleasure. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, he is certainly a superhero in our eyes. He has been able to do amazing things and has carried on life pretty much as normal as we do. We're all proud of him. Guys, we will go for a little commercial break now, and then we'll be back with more fun. Kindly stay tuned.
If you're like any one of us, you've probably OD'd on junk food during our time away from school. Learning from home has also meant relaxing for long hours on the couch, binging on Fortnite or TikTok or cartoons. And it's honestly time for us to get more active again. So hopefully you have on your exercise clothes and your comfy shoes so we can get our bodies moving with DIY exercise.
All right, good morning kids. Thanks for having us back with you. Once again, I'm Sensei Leon and this is James, and we're happy to be here to share more Karate 101 lessons as a part of today's do-it-yourself exercise session. Right, James? To begin, we need to get our bodies warmed up, so follow me. So if you were with us the last time, we did the intermediate jumping jacks, so we're assuming that you remember how to do them. So let's start immediately with 10. Let me step back a little bit, you step forward a little bit more. All right. And remember, it's side up, side down as your legs go open and close. All right, ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3. Remember, don't give up. Even if you get confused, keep moving. Even if you're just running in place, just keep moving, all right? 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, if we went too fast for you, it's all James's fault. Right, I was trying to be the nice guy, but he wasn't having it. So once again, if you're with us for the last show, we did the switching drill. So we go back to that because it really helps with the coordination. Which side of your body is in front, which side is at the rear, because in fighting, in martial arts, each half of your body has different responsibilities, all right? The front is normally responsible for defending, while the rear half is for attacking or counter-attacking, all right? So that's so important for now. Hands up, here, or perhaps you want to keep them down, it's fine. Here, and switch. Switch. You want to be faster than me, or at least you want to be faster than James. Maybe I'm too fast for you, all right? Switch. Double switch. Switch. Triple switch. Switch. Triple switch. Double switch. Switch. Double switch. Double switch. Triple switch. Switch. All right. There is no tricking James. I tried tricking him in the last show, I couldn't do it. This guy is sharp, 5. Good job. All right, so this time we move to our quick step. Last show, we touched a little bit on it. We put the right leg in front because James likes his right leg, all right? So last time, you can see right there, we did it from here. We did the forward and the backward, and the left and the right from this, what we call the formal attention stance. Now we're going to make it more effective. We apply it from our fighting stance, all right? So we start with left and right because we did left and right last time. So let's review left and right. So now the tricky thing is we have one leg in front, one leg behind. But the same concept applies where if I say left, the left leg moves first, like so, all right? And if I say right, the right leg moves first. So things to keep in mind are your feet never, ever, ever come together, and your feet are never, ever on the same line, all right? Once I do this, I don't have balance anymore. And wobbly people don't fight well, don't defend themselves well, all right? Don't drink, kids. So here, not so big. You just want to be comfortable, right? So right side, the right leg moves first. See, same space. Left side, left leg moves first. If I come back to my formal attention stance, my feet are shoulder width apart. So when I step back, I want to maintain. Even though one is in front, one is behind, still we have the same space in between, all right? Same spacing. Right, keep the spacing. Left, keep the spacing. Right, keep the spacing. Left, keep the spacing. Even if we switch, it's the same concept that applies. I move to the right leg will move first. I move to the left leg. Right leg, left leg. Switch, right, left, left. And it's fast. Of course, you want to explode. You want to choose your level and stay, right? We don't jump in fighting because once you go up, you must wait to come down, and that takes time. Your opponent is waiting for you, all right? So we try to stay nice and leveled. Here, as I'm moving, right? And when we move left, see, I'm staying nice and level. I can put a cup of water here. It doesn't fall. Right, James? So James doesn't believe me. Come closer. All right, so switch, left. Switch, right. Right, left. Switch, double switch, left. All right, good job. If you're following, good job. Now, forward and backward follow similar principles. If I say forward, it's always the leg in front that will move first, right? So forward, front leg, and then back leg or rear leg, all right? If I say backwards, it's always the leg at the back that will move first. Doesn't matter if you're in Europe, it's the same rules, all right? Backwards, the leg at the back will move first, all right? Staying level, all right? Forward, backwards, forward, backwards. Switch legs. Make sure your feet are not on the same line. Hey, can we turn this way, James? All right? So, when I say forward, we come together. Backward, we're stepping away. This is what you need to imagine. Forward, he's attacking me. Backward, I'm attacking him. All right? So keep that in mind. Ready? And forward, backward, forward, backward. Switch, forward, backward, forward, double switch, forward, backward, double switch, backwards, left, switch. I caught him, right? All right, shake it out. Good job. That's right. We try to have fun all the time in every class because you guys are kids and this is the way you learn the best, through fun, all right? Shake your legs out. Now, again, these drills double over. They have two purposes, one for warming up and also for, we say, educating the muscles in different parts of your body because your muscle also has memory, all right? So we're trying to get our body to remember different positions. So high knees, yes, it's for warming up, but it's also to remember that every time I lift my leg, my knee must come as high as possible. And in martial arts, we try to get it at least in line with our belts, all right? So we're going to do 10 high knees. Each knee comes up 10 times, all right? So I put my hands here. My hands don't move. My hand doesn't go to my knee comes to my hands, all right? Ready? Starting with the right knee first, as fast as you can. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, you skipped the last one. James, shake it out. All right, and then likewise, in every sporting discipline, there are butt kicks, all right? So the objective here is I'm trying to get my heel to touch my hips. Here, I'm trying to kick myself in the butt, all right? Put it that way. All right, turn that way so they can see if you're cheating. Ready? So each heel touches, well, I'm going to put my hand here, so my heel touches my hand 10 times, each one. So a total of 20. Ready? Right leg first and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, good job. Shake it out, shake it out. And then a little bit more complicated, what we call Nancy. Nancy is, I'm bringing my leg up to the inside. So I'm doing this way and this way, all right? So I'm getting like that. Again, try to bring your leg to your arm and not your arm to your leg, all right? So 10 times each leg. You hear my breath? I'm getting winded. It's because it's working. James is cheating. Look at him. Ready? Hands in front and right leg first. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, good job. One more, so that's Nancy to the inside. We also have it to the outside. So we go this way and this way. It's important, all right? All ranges of motions are important in your warm-up. Ready? Right leg first and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. I'm sweating. I'm just working. There's nothing on this guy. He's half reptile or something. All right, check it out. All right, so in our last session, we learned how to do the inside crescent kick. In capoeira, the Brazilian martial art, it's called a queixada. All right, here we call it the inside crescent kick. Now, today we're going to learn the reverse, the outside crescent kick. So for the inside, we're striking with the outside edge of our leg. For the outside, we're striking with the inside leg, inside edge of our foot, of the bottom of our foot. All right, ready? So again, bring your leg up as high as you can. James likes to start with the right leg in front, it's fine. Ready? So create a circle. That's why it's called a crescent, all right? Like the letter C. So I can put my arm here if I like, all right, as a target. Remember the first 4, not so high, and then we start taking it up from there. All right, ready? And 1 from the outside, 2, across and back, 3, 4. Remember not to slap your leg on the ground like that. Control it, all right? 5, and breathe. 6, 7, 8, 9, and big Kia in your house, 10. Come on, James. I don't know what it takes to get this guy to Kia. Switch leg. I need to promise him something. I don't know. How do you bribe a kid? Ready? And now the other leg. 1, circle. 2, circle. 3, breathe. 4, breathe. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and big K, 10. I'm going to fire him.
I don't know that.
All right, shake your legs out. All right, so another day closer to our black belts in karate, right, James? Great job today. I can just tell that you're getting better at karate already. I'm proud of you. Continue being active while at home, even if it's not karate. It's important for your well-being. Look out for more karate lessons coming up. See you around. Bye.
Being physically healthy is important for us, especially when we're inside for almost the entire day. Hopefully, you enjoyed that mini session. The sweat is worth it. You're probably out of breath right now, so we will take a little commercial break so we can wind down a little. Enjoy some water and maybe take a quick stretch before we move into the next segment for today. Please stay tuned so we can end off how we started. In it together. Be right back.
In the blink of an eye, most of our lives have been impacted significantly, from the nagging curfew stressing us out to the economic difficulties affecting our parents. 2020 has certainly been a difficult year for all. Needing someone to talk to is important and really nothing to be ashamed of. Bottling up emotions can actually do more harm. So I'm happy for our guide coming up now, who will help us find some comfort in Peace Out.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Peace Out. I'm your guide, Miss Jones. Now that we are in a pretty good groove, let's continue exploring cool strategies to help us cope with feelings of stress, confusion, or frustration. Like I mentioned the last time, having a toolbox of coping strategies is critical for a young adult to deal with challenging emotions. Sometimes the emotions are due to anxiety, depression, anger, stress, or other strong feelings. Regardless of the reason, it is important to teach, practice, and choose coping strategies that work for you. Using a coping strategies fortune teller can help with all of those things in a fun, interactive, and hands-on way. So today we will be creating a paper fortune teller. I used to make these when I was in primary school and high school, and they were fun and relaxing to play with. My friends and I would use them to tell each other's future. But today we are going to make one to help us pick coping strategies in those difficult moments. Before we make our fortune teller, let's make a list of at least 8 coping skills for a specific emotion. So grab a blank sheet of paper and a writing utensil. Let's try making a list for when you are feeling angry. What are some calming, healthy, and positive things that you can do when you are feeling angry? Do you like to write? Do you like to read? Color? Listen to music? Dance? Or what skills would you like to learn? Ensure you have a list of 8 skills to put in your fortune teller. So now what will you need to fold a fortune teller? You will need an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of construction paper and markers or crayons. Now let's make our paper fortune teller. You're going to take your typing sheet and you will take the corner of one side of the paper, fold it across, ensure that it meets the edge of the paper. It should look something like this. Now we're going to remove this little piece of paper because now it's useless. You could use scissors or a piece of ruler or some other sort of device to remove that piece of paper. So now we should be left with something looking like this. Now we're going to fold the paper in the same format, but on the side that does not have any kind of folded lines as yet. So we'll fold it across this way. So now it should look something like this, with a square with 4 triangles. Now, we're going to place the paper on a flat surface and we're going to fold in all the 4 corners to make triangles that should be facing each other. So let's do that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry if your triangles aren't perfect, mine aren't either. Okay, so it should look something like this now. Now our next step, we're going to place the paper again face down, but with the 4 triangles facing the top of the plain surface that you have. So now we're going to repeat that step again. We're going to again fold the 4 corners inwards and make 4 small triangles that should be again facing each other. So that's 1, 2, again my triangles aren't perfect, 3, and 4. Now you should have a smaller square that looks something like this with the inner part, and this is how the outer part looks. And you have created your paper fortune teller. So now the goal is now to fold it in half this way, and again in half this way. So this should be your end product. Your paper fortune teller should be able to do something just like this. And you have created your paper fortune teller. So now, let us decorate our fortune teller. I'm just going to walk you through it. So I have one here that's already decorated. So on the outside flaps, you're going to pick 4 colors. You can also pick markers in the same color. You're going to write the name of the color on the tabs outside. Now you're going to pull back those tabs and write the numbers 1 through 8 on those inner tabs. After that, you're going to lift all of the tabs, and in the inner part, you're going to list those 8 coping skills that you came up with earlier. So now let's have some fun and calm down. This is how you're going to use your fortune teller. You're going to pick one out of the 4 colors and spell it out. So if you pick blue, you're going to spell B-L-U-E. You're now going to pick a number from the inner tab, so one of the numbers that you can see here. So I'm going to pick the number 3. So T-H-R-E-E. And the skill that you find under the tab is the skill you're going to use to cope in that moment. So you can use these fortune tellers for any form of emotion that you might have. But whilst doing so, ensure you're having fun. So how did you like that one? I thought it was pretty cool. And it reminds me of the fun I used to have in primary and high school. That goes to show how resourceful we can be to turn fun into help, right? Once again, thanks for allowing me to share this technique with you. I hope you continue to tune in so you can discover new ways to find peace out. Bye!
I already feel way more relaxed after that fun session. I hope you guys discovered that exploring your emotions, utilizing coping techniques, and managing your exposure to stressful news are all practical and important ways to safeguard your mental health and emotional well-being. So I thank our guide for helping all of us to enjoy this episode of Peace Out.
So that wraps up In It Together for today. Remember, this is a special show dedicated to us. Schools are closed, but we can still learn together, play together, dance together, draw together, and have endless fun together. With our TVs or tablets or phones, we can link up in a productive way, and it's also a big change from just being at home idling for most of the day, which has gotten really boring. Remember, this show, Just for Us, will air every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 in the morning until midday. We air on Channel 7 all over the country and on Facebook at In It Together Belize. Please tell your friends and family members to join in on the fun. We are going through some pretty weird times, but don't worry, we'll get through this because we're in it together. Thanks for tuning in today. In It Together was brought to you by the Ministry of Education and UNICEF.